All right, welcome back. So today, going to do another review of a cigar that I've had in my collection for a little bit. I'm not real sure. I'm going to probably do this Fuente Eye of the Shark, but I've got this punch in there too that I kind of want to do, but we'll see. So before we begin, a watch check. So today I have the Invicta Valgio. This is really a beautiful watch. Invicta, I know it takes a lot of flack for being a cheap watch company. But they do make some really good watches. This one has diamonds into the chronograph there and a gold band. Nice watch. So the boots, I've had these on before. I just got to wear them every now and then. I don't wear them outside because they're too nice. I don't know what that is. So that is the Lucchese Crocodile, full crocodile all the way up. An amazing boot. So the cigars, I want to do this of this Punch 180 year anniversary, but it's just a little big. I don't know. At some point I'll do that. My expectations aren't that great. You know how I feel about former Cuban brands that are not Cuban anymore. They seem to rely on the name rather than the quality. But so speaking of one that doesn't rely on the name alone, but is all about quality, is Arturo Fuente. This is the Don Carlos Eye of the Shark. So a really nice cigar, somewhat of a rare find, and they call it the Shark because it does start out, you can see it's box pressed at the end. It gets a little thinner and then torpedoes out. So from box to torpedo, I think makes that sort of the Shark. So we'll get that fired up and we'll talk about it. So the Eye of the Shark, I'm going to take it out of the band. These, I usually get one every year or two. That's a back, and this gets these in. Nice wrapper. A darker wrapper. I have to look up to see exactly what. Oop, I'm off the camera there. It's got a nice, pleasant aroma. It's a really supposedly high quality. The wrapper's a little bit off. It's funny how it was unevenly, the label, I should say, not the wrapper. So I don't know that you can see it, but it's uneven in the back. But who cares, I guess, as long as it tastes good. The torpedo's a little bit odd shape too at the end of it, but we'll see. Smells, it has almost a perfumey scent to it. It's got a nice smell. Pre-light. The draw pre-light is pretty good. There's some resistance, but that's to be expected. Pre-light, let's hope that it's not that way once I get going. So we'll get the end of it here. It's a big block end, so a lot to light there. I want to kind of get that nice and toasted. Again, I like to do the 3 puff test, and that simply is get it toasted fairly evenly. Don't burn up the sides too much. And then you take 3 puffs, 2 relatively smaller ones, one a full inhale, and on the third one, it should give you a perfect draw and the perfect amount of smoke. And so we'll see. how that is. So the idea is not to, if you don't have to, light while you're sucking in light, so you don't get the fluid there. But so let's try it. So 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Perfect light. Takes a little more fluid that way, but I think once you get it lit, then you're going to be good to go. You're not going to have to relight it unless you set it down for a considerable period of time. Fair amount of medium thickness smoke. Good draw. No noticeable resistance. The air filter's coming on. Nice flavor. Fairly mild so far. They have a little bit of tea with it here. Like tea, almost anything non-carbonated with cigars goes well. Starting to get some nice flavor, chocolate, a little bit of licorice. Again, staying at a mild to medium. Certainly not a strong cigar as of yet. The Don Carlos line is a very famous line from Fuente, somewhat added to the infamousness by Rush Limbaugh. This was the Don Carlos was his smoke, his go-to smoke. Not to say that's good or bad. So let's see. Arturo Fuente, Eye of the Shark. All right. So Aficionado has it here. And this was the number one cigar of 2017. So I can see that because it is a pleasant smoke. It's got some nice flavor. Certainly not overwhelming. Got a 97 rating. I mean, that's tremendous. Right? I'm not tasting 97 yet, but, you know, it's good. Whether or not the blend slightly changed since then, I don't know. This one I got relatively recently, near in 2023, from my friend's cigar shop. So I'm assuming that this is a reproduction, right, of the original that came out in 2017. May have come out even before then, but that's the year that it got the number one rating. So it's a Cameroon wrapper. I was looking at that, and I guess that makes sense. It almost looked like a Habano Oscuro, but yeah, I see the Cameroon. They classify it as medium to full. Again, I'm not getting a ton of strength. It's maybe approaching medium. I mean, it's medium, but it's on the mild to medium end, at least in my view so far. So, according to Aficionado, Fuentes are pretty guarded as to the particulars of the blend. Well-aged tobaccos grown in the Dominican Republic, which is the basic recipe for Don Carlos cigars. So I do like Dominican tobacco. I mean, Nicaragua's probably the most popular and widely used. Sometimes Nicaragua, if you get a good Nicaraguan, like a Padron, I mean, it's hard to beat it. But some of the Nicaraguan tobacco is a little bit harsh. For the most part, Dominican's good. Sometimes it's a little bit too mild, but this is a nice blend. You can tell it's well aged. Certainly, it is a unique shape. It's good size. I think it's a good size for a cigar. It's going to be about an hour-long smoke. It's interesting, you know. I think, you know, if you were smoking the end, the block end, it might be a little bit big, but so it is nice that it kind of tapers off into that shark, and makes it easier to smoke. Definitely got some unique flavors to it. I like it. It's a nice smoke. You know, the price point on it isn't bad at all. You know, it's a 5 3/4 by 52. Again, with that tapering. I mean, this is showing it to be a $27 cigar. I don't think it was anywhere near that at the cigar shop. So, I mean, maybe I just got a good deal, but I don't remember it being that expensive. So, some of these, yeah, they say it's a natural color. I guess so, but I mean, it is a Cameroon. It's burning just slightly unevenly, just a tad bit, but overall, it's holding its own pretty well. You know, it says here cinnamon chestnut. Yeah, I guess so. I don't taste too much cinnamon there. I mean, it is very close to the shape of the much sought after Anejo, number 77, the Anejo Shark. So, but this is, I'm going to say it's more mild than that. So, a lot of very high ratings. Holtz gives it a 96. Let's see, Half Wheel. Half Wheel, which I go to a lot. They reviewed it, but they reviewed the 2015 release dates. So they had it as an $11 cigar, and that seems more right to me. I mean, I think it was a little more than that, but I don't remember it being in the $20 range, so. So they did a original of the 2015, and they gave it a 92. They also reviewed it in 2017 and gave it a 92 also. So I think that's closer to the actual rating in my view of what this cigar is, rather than the 97 that Aficionado gave it. So again, I think it's a good cigar, very good cigar. Would not, in the $15 range, I think it's an excellent value. And yeah, so I don't think there's a ton of them out there. If you go into your cigar shop or you go online, I would recommend it. I would see if you can get some. I don't see a lot of them for sale online here. So again, a lot of the retailers that are authorized Fuente dealers, they may get them. And if they get them, they're not going to get too many of them. So if you see one, I'd recommend picking it up. So it's continuing to burn well. This is going to be one of those long ash cigars, I can tell. I mean, the ash is, it's pretty solid. Looks like it's nowhere near ready to fall off yet. And again, burning just slightly unevenly, not much. But very good cigar. Recommend it. The flavor is intensifying as we go. So getting more into that medium range, but it's certainly not strong. Not in my mind anyway. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the review. And I'll show you what I mean about sort of how it's burning slightly unevenly. If it focuses in, then we lose it. But anyway, good cigar. Until next time, we'll see you soon.